How did a cloudy island with barely any resources, no empire left, and endless political drama become one of the richest nations on Earth? The real reason will surprise you. The British Empire is long gone. Brexit shook everything. Infrastructure is aging, politics are chaotic, and yet somehow, the UK still ranks among the wealthiest nations on the planet. Today we're pulling back the curtain on how this former empire still holds global economic power. And it's not just about numbers or GDP, it's about legacy, location, and something hidden beneath the surface. Because once you understand the invisible engines powering Britain's wealth, you'll never see the country the same way again. What if I told you the UK's biggest wealth generator isn't even visible on a map? The British Empire once spanned a quarter of the globe. Over 400 million people across Asia, Africa, the Americas, and the Pacific were under British control. But here's the twist. When the colonies left, the systems didn't. English common law became the foundation of courts from India to Nigeria. The English language became the language of global business. British trade routes stayed open, and financial relationships endured. And at the center of it all, London. As colonies gained independence, their elites still looked to the UK for legal frameworks, education, and investment. London didn't just survive the empire's fall, it became the financial capital of the post-imperial world. But if the empire's gone, how's the money still rolling in? Deep inside London lies a square-mile district with more financial power than most countries. It's called the City of London, and it operates almost like a country within a country. It has its own laws, its own police force, even its own elected Lord Mayor. But most importantly, it has its own financial rules. This is the engine room. Trillions pass through here every year. Foreign exchange, insurance, derivatives, offshore accounts. The world's wealthy don't just pass through. They park their money here. HSBC, Barclays, Lloyd's of London. You've heard the names. What you may not know is how deeply they're woven into the global economy, from Asia to the Americas. So, what's more powerful than oil, gold, or tech? Britain's invisible exports. Britain's real money isn't in factories. It's in ideas, services, and influence. They call them invisible exports. Banking, education, media, legal advice, consulting. Things you can't touch, but that generate billions. Oxford and Cambridge don't just educate students. They produce global elites. The BBC doesn't just report news. It shapes how the world understands it. London law firms don't defend criminals. They defend countries. A Saudi billionaire in legal trouble? He flies to London. A global CEO needs arbitration? London. A dictator's son looking to invest quietly? London. The UK is a service superpower, and the world pays for access. And yet, a big part of the UK's wealth is buried underground. In the 1970s, while much of Europe struggled with energy shocks, Britain struck gold, black gold. Vast oil and gas reserves beneath the North Sea transformed the economy. For decades, they helped pay for social services, stabilize the currency, and reduce imports. Much of it came from Scottish waters, fueling the long-running debate about Scottish independence and where that oil money should go. Even today, the North Sea still produces billions. It's not the giant it once was, but it remains a powerful piece of Britain's energy puzzle. But what really gives the UK its edge is where it sits on the map. The UK is a geopolitical bridge. It sits between the United States and Europe, right in the middle of two of the most powerful economic zones on Earth. That makes it the perfect stopping point for trade, finance, and global data. Under its shores run critical transatlantic cables, carrying the world's internet traffic. Its ports, like Felixstowe, connect Asia with Europe and beyond. Its time zone overlaps with both Asia and America, letting markets run nearly 24/7. It's not just luck, it's logistics. And the world relies on it. And here's where it gets crazy. Brexit may have boosted Britain's power. Brexit looked like economic suicide. Investors panicked, predictions of doom went viral. But then, something strange happened. Freed from EU rules, the UK pivoted. It began striking trade deals fast, with Japan, Australia, and more. It doubled down on its Commonwealth network, reactivating old ties across Africa and Asia. The Global Britain Plan wasn't just PR, it was a full-on reboot. And while some industries struggled, others thrived. London's financial sector didn't die, it adapted. But none of this means anything if Britain can't keep creating wealth at home. The UK isn't just old money, it's new ideas. London is now a global tech magnet. especially for fintech, health tech, and AI. Startups thrive here thanks to generous tax breaks, world-class universities, and a government hungry for growth. Think of Revolut, Wise, DeepMind, all born in the UK. All global players now. Venture capital still pours into the country, and London remains one of the best cities for launching billion-dollar companies. But here's the twist. A lot of Britain's wealth doesn't even stay in Britain. Even without an empire, Britain controls a hidden financial empire. It's called the offshore web. Through overseas territories like the British Virgin Islands, the Cayman Islands, and Jersey, the UK provides a legal home for trillions in assets. These are the world's most infamous tax havens, and they all have one thing in common. They operate under British law. It's not illegal, it's not even secret, but it is strategic, and it makes Britain the gatekeeper of global capital. Still wondering if the UK is rich? Let's talk about just one asset: London real estate. London isn't a city, it's a vault. Real estate in London is a global asset class. Oligarchs, sheikhs, tech billionaires, they all want a piece. A single apartment in Mayfair or Kensington can sell for over £20 million. And that's just the entrance fee. Tourism pours in billions more. Millions visit annually to see castles, cathedrals, royal palaces, and, yes, the pubs. Add to that education. UK universities attract hundreds of thousands of foreign students. They pay top dollar, stay in the country, and often become high-skilled workers. But all of this raises a bigger question. Is it sustainable? Despite all the wealth, many Britons are struggling. Housing prices are out of control. The cost of living has spiked. The NHS is overwhelmed. Public transport is aging. Infrastructure is crumbling outside of London. Inequality is rising. Social mobility is falling. And Brexit's long-term consequences still playing out. So yes, Britain is rich, but not everyone is living that reality. So, how is the United Kingdom still rich? Legacy, location, leverage, not coal or factories, but systems, secrets, and soft power. But here's the twist. What happens when the legacy fades or the leverage is lost? That's the next chapter. What do you think is Britain's real source of wealth? Drop a comment below. I read every one. And if this breakdown got you thinking, check out our deep dive on why Switzerland might secretly be the richest country in Europe. You won't believe #3. Britain's wealth isn't obvious. It's not towering factories or endless oil fields. It's a web, spun from centuries of empire, geography, legal systems, and quiet influence. The empire collapsed, but the money kept flowing. The infrastructure aged, but the financial circuits stayed hot. The politics grew chaotic, but the City of London never blinked. The UK is rich not because of what you see, but because of what you don't. It's the invisible exports, the offshore networks, the power of English law, the gravitational pull of London, its legacy, rebranded as leverage. But here's the paradox. That same wealth is uneven, concentrated, hidden. It lifts a few and leaves many behind. And while the world still bets on Britain, the real gamble is internal. Can the UK make that wealth work for everyone? Because systems fade, influence shifts, and even the richest nations aren't guaranteed a future. So what do you think? Is Britain's wealth a ticking time bomb or a model of silent power? Drop your take in the comments, I'm reading them all. And if this blew your mind, you've got to check out our next video, Why Switzerland is Quietly Taking Over Europe's Wealth Game. Trust me, you won't believe what they're hiding in those mountains.